How's it going, everyone? It's Louis Crypto here, back with another Bitcoin update. We're starting off on the weekly time frame. Last week I did leave you guys off with this potential resistance, but as price is in and around it, a little bit above it, we can say that yes, coming into it, this is resistance. But at the moment, while we are slightly above, we could say dumps into this area is actually support. If we look to the left over here, we can see a lot of resistance wicks. Price stopped exactly at that point where the candle had a lot of bullish momentum, so it didn't really make sense. Anyways, we take it as it's given to us rather than trying to predict. If we were trying to predict, the prediction would have been big green candle, lots of momentum, direct next candle going to be big green candle with loads of momentum. But we'd rather take it as it comes. This is what I like to do on the channel. If you enjoyed that, please do stay tuned by subscribing. So what we needed to see over here is, of course, continuation. We were right at the targets, the 1.272, the 1.414, and the 1.618. Although we hadn't met it just yet with that, that's potentially a reason why we didn't get that crazy bullish momentum, because there was a resistance in the way. So the direct next candle, we rejected it. So this is proving that there is a resistance right here, and that so happens to be the 1.272 Fibonacci. So from that, I'm understanding this is resistance. Any break above this then becomes support. So that's why today or last week or today right now we're seeing this as support or potentially support. Right now we can see just slightly beneath it, we've got four moving averages, 255, 20 and 12 in order from here to the top. So as long as we hold above these, any dumps into this area should be held. Now the closest one being the 12, the blue one, is going to give us an immediate reaction. So that's why we can see that sitting at roughly $28,820 on the weekly time frame. The main reason why I drew this level is because it is the 1.272 fib. Now, I've seen a few other YouTubers measuring the FTX dump from this point to this low and using the Fibonacci's from there. In fact, guys, you could be using both of these at the moment, from the August top last year to the low from about November, or from the FTX top to the November low. You can actually have both on your chart. So we can see that right over here at $29,737, we have the 2 Fibonacci out of this FTX dump thing here. And it's very slightly above, just about $263 higher, we can see the 30,000 key psychological level. So I've increased this from the 2 fib to that 30,000 key psychological level. And so I've created this area that is, of course, resistance as we are approaching. But now, as price is still above 30,000, this 2K area, or almost 2K area, pretty much just 1K, but is acting as support. So a dump into this zone should just be support. We can actually see over the last few weeks right now, we have been above and been consolidating above this purple box. In fact, every time that we've dumped into this purple box, we can see for the weekly candle closes, price has closed above, which is $30,000. So we're seeing $30,000 being held as support. I wouldn't worry too much, because even if we do dump, because we can see the moving averages here. We would now, to see a downtrend, need to lose 25.5K, which is all the way down here at 25.543 thousand. So the 200 EMA now needs to be lost. At the moment it hasn't. So all this at the moment is a retest of this inverse head and shoulders neckline over here as support, with a falling wedge that we called, with entries down here on the fake out to the downside, calling for this pump 231K, which we saw targets met exactly. So we've then broken out, or potentially now, in a weekly bull pennant, yet to break out, but we're potentially now in a weekly bull pennant. So this has a 66% chance of breaking to the upside, but still has a 33% chance of breaking down. At the moment it's a pennant. It could even, if we do start to break down, become a bull flag, just like this. So you can trend within just like this and then look for that breakout to the upside. I would believe that the pump breakout would be a similar pump to this. So this was a move of about 15%. So on the breakout, we could expect another 15%, depending on where it breaks down. A breakout, sorry. So that, yeah, could be a pump more towards 33, 34k for Bitcoin. Now that's me done for the weekly time frame, guys. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to smash the like button. It's the only metric YouTube uses to pump these videos out to like-minded people like yourselves. So don't forget to also comment as well. It does also help with the algorithm, but the likes are the main thing. So now when we scale over to the daily time frame, we can see this 1 for 1 for $30,885 being held extremely well as resistance, but equally this support that I drew last week is equally being held very nicely as support. So you can see this consolidation range is quite tight. The price is stuck between 30,000 and pretty much 31k, a 1k range, even less, guys, $800 range. And so we're going to force a move very soon. We can see how the EMAs over here started to roll over. That could be happening right now. Really and truly, I would have much preferred a breakout to have happened already. But I was getting quite getting a few feelings at the end of last week that we could potentially see a pump, but it just never came a pump. When I said it maybe pumped like $200-300 higher, and then it just started to come back down. It's pretty much where it was where I started to say that last week. So it's pretty much not moved since the end of last week. So this is giving it less likelihood to break to the upside. Look how many attempts it's had, guys. It's had too many attempts to break up and it's just failed to. And then at the end of last week on a Thursday, we had that very nasty wick rejection, which started off the day as a big green candle with new highs for the year. I think that was slightly higher, yeah. New highs for the year over here on this red candle. And then just before it closed for the day, halfway through the day, dumps back down to the lows of the range. But we can see that as soon as it entered that purple area, didn't like being down here. The direct next day we pumped back outside. If we now zoom in for you, we can see we pumped outside, now looking to hold this area support. Guys, if this area is lost, let's look at this wick over here, already marked out for you, $29,600. Lose this wick, we're trying to retest the lower end, which is the 1.272, because in actual fact, guys, if we're using the larger Fibonacci's, they're essentially saying the 1.414 is the resistance and the 1.272 is the support of this range. However, there are also other supports. We're not just solely relying on the Fibonacci's. There are other layers of support, like the ones we've drawn out. We said that's the 2 Fibonacci's, also a psychological level, 30,000. We've also got this support here, 29,600. We've also got the 20 EMA here, 29,900. So there's a lot of other things suggesting that there are supports. But if we're looking at just the Fibonacci's, then technically yes, as this is resistance at the 1.414, you could actually dump to the 1.272, 28,800. But things stand in the way before you actually get down there. So if you were to lose those levels that I mentioned, which is the 20 EMA as well as 29,600, then yes, we could see a dump from the 20 to the 55. I would wait for this to be lost, but usually when you lose the 20, you head to the 55. If we lose this, we're going to the down there anyway. As this is the range high here and this is the range low, there's just like middle points essentially in the way. So these middle points in the way, this level of support, can you see how we have this big purple box? You can then dissect this into another purple box, whatever color. I'm just using purple, that's my favorite color. Sorry if it gets confusing. I have purple moving average, I have purple trend lines, I have purple boxes. I just love purple, guys. But yeah, essentially we can see that this closer in, smaller purple box is still acting as support. So any dumps into this area should be bought up. I'm not going to believe this will be lost until I'm seeing it. So I want to see 29,600 being lost. Sorry if you can hear my dog drinking her water. That's what I do. I live with the dogs. But yeah, so essentially we could see rounding off top, double top. I guess we're just consolidating before the next big move. Let me know in the comment section below whether you think we're going to break up or down. Personally, as I mentioned already, I think we should have already broken up to the upside already. But again, this is support. Even if we dump down even further down to here, this is support. We should bounce from here. The 55's acting like a second layer of defense once the 20 is lost, keeping you in this uptrend again. Even on the daily time frame, we're above the key moving averages, being the 200 EMA as well as the 55. So any dumps into this area or zone, I would expect a bounce to then eventually go ahead and break the high. We can get a deeper correction. I'll inform you on that in the future, but at the moment, as we've seen on the weekly time frame, any dumps into this zone should be support. The weekly 12 sits at the lower end. The 55 sits at the lower end. So we've got a lot to help us. Even the 200 EMA on the 4 hour is pretty much on the lower end. So could we get a little kiss in this area and then tap out and go up to the upside? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. But that's it from me today. This is all still support in my eyes. I'm not worried even if we dump down as low as 28,000. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next Bitcoin update. Don't you worry if anything changes. Follow me on my Twitter, Louis_crypto. You need to be so careful at the moment. I've had messages of fake accounts on Twitter, on Instagram, messaging people. Guys, the only account that I do use is over on my Linktree. Again, we can find that over here. Head over to my Linktree, links in the description. You can already find my Twitter link in the description, so go over there, click that Twitter link, and you can private message me here. Whether you want to join the course, the chat, or do the mentorship, just private message me for more information. Otherwise, follow me here for further updates throughout the day. Otherwise, catch me tomorrow in my next Bitcoin update. Cheers, like, subscribe, and comment. Peace.